Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone in internet land. Oh, wait, let's flip that one on Twitter. Hey, we're live on Twitter today, which is new. I'm broadcasting live today from my back porch. It is a rainy day out here in Buckingham, Pennsylvania. But I wanted to jump in and say hi to you guys and share with you some of the 3 biggest mistakes that I see in sales playbooks. No, sorry, not sales playbooks today. Today we're sales training. Last week we talked about sales playbooks. The 3 biggest mistakes that I see in sales training programs, and believe me, I've been there. So I was training many reps at a time, and I understand how difficult it is to get away from everything that you're doing in order to train your reps. So if you have any questions about that and you're joining me live, you can jump in and ask. But at one point we were training 3 to 5 new reps per week. So it was really important that we had a consistent, systematized, automated sales training program. So here's the 3 biggest mistakes that I see in in-house sales training programs, and hopefully you can avoid them so you can grow your team quickly and exponentially. Number 1 is there's way too much product training, right? Too much product training, not enough sales training. So even if your product's really complicated, your salesperson only needs to know enough to sell the customer what they want to buy. In other words, they only really need to know as much as the customer needs to know in order to buy, maybe a little bit more. And then they need to have access to you or someplace where they can find all the answers that they need. So that's number 1, is way too much emphasis on product, not enough emphasis on sales training. If they have a solid sales training background, even if they say they don't need it, as if you just give it to everybody, then it doesn't look like, some kind of punishment. Everybody's got to have a basic professional sales training before they learn the product and get out into the market. But that doesn't mean you have to spend a long time on it. You can do this. The agent can be fully trained in a week and get out in the market. So in order to do that, you need to avoid mistake number 2, which is that sales training programs aren't systemized or automated enough. So when you create a system, when you don't have a system to train your salespeople, in corporate, you would call that a curriculum. You don't have that system. Now you're getting inconsistent training to your salespeople. So you don't remember who you told what to. Everyone's getting different information, right? And ultimately, it's not fair because they're not getting the tools that they need to launch into business and make sales quickly, right? Goal is to get them producing as quickly as possible, whether you've got, especially if they're commission only, but if they're base plus, of course, you want them producing quickly as well for both of your benefits. So having a system to follow, A, B, C, D, E, F, a formula for training, a curriculum that includes not only product training and how to sell your product, but basic sales training as well. And then once you have that system, you can automate that system. So a while ago when I was training and I got really sick with Crohn's disease, I was in and out of the hospital unexpectedly, right? Like I'd have to bring my laptop to the hospital so I wouldn't fall behind. And that taught me a huge lesson that my business was not automated. So it couldn't run itself unless I was there, which is a major weakness, right? Because that means I'm the weakness. The weakness is that I have to be there. So from there, I learned how to automate everything in my business so that I didn't have to be there to run it. And one of those was training programs. So if I hired a rep on Monday and Tuesday I was in the hospital, I couldn't just let them flail. So our entire training program had to be automated. So once you have a system, now you can work to automate it. So you're only there for the parts that you really need to be there for. And everything else is done on autopilot, and your salesperson is training themselves. Now I help people do that by creating their sales playbooks, by creating their video-based sales playbooks. So they can take themselves step by step through a curriculum to get basic sales training as well as how to sell your product, right? It's also what we build together in the sales launch code, which is my program that's open for enrollment now. So you can get more details on that below. The number one step in systemizing it is creating your sales playbook. So you can grab your sales playbook template, your free one, at template.jpmpartners.com. Okay, and then the third one is that the sales training is not thorough enough. And I totally get why, because you have no time. You're totally you're totally squeezed, and you're trying to fit in sales training amongst everything else that you already have to do, all your other meetings and obligations. I get it. But we can't skimp on what a person needs to really give them all the tools to be successful. So creating that system and then automating it will make sure that you will help you be able to deliver more within that system than you could one-on-one, or that you would have the time to do one-on-one. Ultimately, if you put these all together and create a training program that runs automatically on its own, on autopilot, that frees up your bandwidth to hire more people, to hire quickly, to hire people with little to no experience, so that you don't have to pay as much and take as much of a risk on them, but also to make sure you're getting your investment back in your base salaries if you're offering them. But even more importantly, if you're running a commission only team, you need to be giving people as many resources as possible to get them producing as quickly as possible. One, so they don't leave you for someone who will give them those resources. But obviously they need to make money quickly. So no matter how much someone tells you that, of course, they need to tell you that in the interview, that they know what they're doing, they're professionally trained, blah, blah, blah. Give everyone training as if they've never sold before. And if you have a rigorous training program like that, and one, they give you resistance to going through it, or two, you find out that they can't self-manage going through that, or three, you find out they can't meet the deadlines of assignments and challenges that you give in the program, then now is a really good time to find that out, right? So then you can start to let people go more quickly and not waste your time and resources on people who ultimately aren't going to be productive in the future anyway. So sales training program is my last step in the recruiting process. I consider it part of that, because if people can't get through my training program, then I don't have to wait 6 months to see if they're going to work out, right? And neither do you. So if you want our help with that, one, you can download the free sales playbook template and start creating your own system for training at template.jpmpartners.com. Or you can reach out to us wherever you're watching this. Just reply or comment, or email me, or go to our website and fill out the contact form. And we can talk about building out your sales playbook together, either side by side, where we develop it together over 6 weeks, or where we do it completely done for you. Me and my team complete a video sales playbook where it's fully loaded with professional sales training and how to sell your product for your people. So I'd be really excited to work with you on that. It's what I love to do. It's what I love to geek out about. It's creating systems and automation for sales teams so that you can grow exponentially. All right. I will see you guys next Monday, 10 a.m., same time, same place. Have a good one. Bye.